Joey Merlino strikes again. This time his intended target is John Gotti Jr. In our previous video, we discussed the tension between John Gotti Jr. and Joey Merlino. John Gotti Jr. is the son of John Gotti Sr., who was once the boss of the Gambino crime family, especially during the reigns of the 1980s. His son, John Gotti Jr., was expected to take the reign of the Gotti family legacy. However, there's only so much that he was able to do with his name being tied to such a powerful figure. Recently, he did a podcast episode on December 2024, which became an explosive moment for all podcasters that touch on the subjects on the mafia. Now, how this is tied to Joey Merlino, many will debate. It all started with Joey Merlino's episode, The Skinny Podcast with Joey Merlino with co-host Little Snuff. On episode 34, they had a specific episode called Is John Gotti Jr. a Rat? The episode did face certain criticism since many people did not even hear the word John Gotti Jr. ever being mentioned. Before, it was talking about the subject of sports, which many of Merlino's podcasts typically does, about sports betting. He briefly mentioned about President Donald Trump on his viewpoints and stance. And eventually, by the time they built the end of the episode, when he was asked, is John Gotti Jr. a rat, he would recommend his audience to go to Patreon. Unfortunately, some of his audience have criticized the episode, calling it clickbait. However, we do have a segment about Joey Merlino answering that question, as you can see here.
John Gotti Jr. a rat?
Go to Patreon, and you'll see.
All right, that's perfect. We are back with the episode that everybody wants to hear. Full episode only available on Patreon. We just asked Joey a question. Is John Gotti Jr. a rat?
100%. 1,000%.
And that's the most asked question in any genre, YouTube, Patreon, Spotify, Apple.
We've been asked for 6 months.
Yeah.
Yes, 1,000%.
33 episodes, that was everybody's question, and we're going to show.
Listen, I'm gonna show you. I ain't just saying it. I don't call nobody. That's the worst thing you can be called.
And there you have it. Those are the words of Joey Merlino. Now, as we mentioned before earlier, John Gotti Jr. was on the Patrick Bet-David show podcast, Value Entertainment, in which he discusses his own viewpoint, since he does not do too many interviews on a public broadcast. He made some remarkable claims against certain figures. One individual he did not mention was Joey Merlino by name. However, many people believe these remarks are geared towards him, as you can hear from John Gotti Jr. himself.
You have lowlifes, you have has-been cokehead jockeys, people like that want to blow these reports and think these are real reports. Name one individual, one. Here it is, today, openly challenge anyone. Show me a person that went to jail because of anything I've ever done in my life or said in my life. Show me. The guy who spent well over $10 million fighting the United States government. The guy who destroyed all their cooperators. Over a dozen men are home right now because of me. Because I destroyed these cooperators and they never used these cooperators ever again. Ever. Including the one you mentioned, John Alite. I was the last case. He gave a death penalty charge to a guy named Johnny Burke. Guess what? They used him to indict John Burke on a death penalty case, but never used John Alite to testify? I've never heard of that before in my life. That is unusual. Why? I retired him.
Now, with that being said, Joey Merlino on episode 68 on the podcast with Skinny Joey Merlino, you can hear from his own segment, since many people of his, especially his supporters, have notified him about these type of segment. And here's what he had to say along with his co-host Little Snuff.
Pointless, it's stupid, and they're just clowns.
I know, they said we go back and forth like this other steroid head, John Jr., rat steroid head, said I was on, well, he didn't, he thinks he's slick. He said a cokehead jockey. I never did drugs in my life. I've been on state parole, federal supervised release the last 30 years of my life. I got drug tested every week, almost every week, whatever. I never had a dirty urine in my life. I never took a drug. My friends never took drugs. We drink, yeah. We never took drugs.
Jealousy.
So just, you want to start with that. And then you got this other Sakali said.
Sakali all of a sudden comes back from the dead.
Yeah, they told us to leave Rayos. I mean, it's just, you're just looking for. This is what they want me to do, go back at them.
Of course, yeah.
Yes, then they'll come back on the show next week just talking, every headline is Joey Merlino.
Every single headline is your name, and especially Chicklets. He came back from the dead, no views, no nothing, just wants to bring it up. They think that we don't have their people sending us stuff. We don't even care. We don't care about any of it. You're just a hateful person.
Well, he was on the other day, and he said that I'm a lowlife. I went below the belt.
So this is a continuation of this ongoing feud between Gotti Jr. and Joey Merlino. Do you think this feud will ever stop? Do you think they'll keep on continuing since Merlino has feuds with other different people, including Chaz Palminteri, Michael Franzese, Sammy the Bull Gravano, and many others? Or do you have anything else to say in regards to John Gotti Jr.? Do you believe it was geared towards Joey Merlino or somebody else? Please let us know in the comments below, and we'd like to hear back from you. We will talk about many other different subjects in which John Gotti Jr. had called out other people as moral, and as far as Merlino calling out others on his podcast on episode 68. Thank you for your time and enjoy the program. Stay tuned.
Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe to our channel and check out more of our content. Feel free to give your feedback and suggestions on what we should do next in the comments. This is Infinite Lee Productions. We love ya.